All right, well, we're live.
Hooray.
We did it. We're here.
How's it going, guys?
Finally.
Finally.
Delay. I was playing video games.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said I'm going to be late too, because I had just finished, or I was wrapping up the video game that you were playing, and then I was like, well, I still want to have dinner and stuff.
Video game.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so what's new? Man, like, I hate this because I know it's a bad thing, but it made me laugh a little bit finding out that one of these fires was caused by a gender reveal party thing. Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
It's fucking crazy.
I learned, like, that happened a few years ago as well.
Yeah,
it was another gender reveal party.
This is just like
if I could just talk about that. If I could talk about what resulted as someone who's in the area.
Yeah.
From this fire.
Please do.
If you saw like my Twitter or my Instagram yesterday, the sky was like gold yellow the entire day, and then it kind of turned into a bit of an orangey at some points. To the point, like, I don't know, like noon, it just looked dark outside. Like street lights were still on because there was not enough light for them to know to turn off. Like it was just dark all day, and the sky was yellow and orange, but like such a strong yellow and orange. Like no hint of like, oh, this is kind of fading away. It was like a matte painting, yellow or orange in the sky.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I literally had to like go. I was like, I need to go up to the hills and take a weird picture of this because I don't know if I'm gonna see something this crazy again.
Sure.
But yeah, that was weird, man.
How close are the fires to?
They're not very close to me. From what I understand, though, they are all around me, except for obviously the ocean side. They are in like every direction around me, but nowhere close enough that I need to worry in any capacity. I just get continuous ash falling from the sky. So I get like ash on my windowsills if the window's open. Yesterday was the first time I had gotten a sore throat, just from like the air. But yeah, that's about it. It's not bad where I am, sure. So thank God for that.
Like that, the smoke, air and sore throats. That happens a lot here from like Washington, BC fires.
Yep.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, the air quality hasn't been too bad in my town. In the past, it definitely had been, but we haven't gotten to a point where it's been like, oh, you should probably not go outside. I think the highest my town's gotten is like, if you're like an elderly person or you have asthma, you should probably not go outside.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That shit's
What's
weird.
great is that was just a couple days ago. A couple days before that, on the long weekend, it hit 40 degrees here.
Ugh.
Which
I was assuming Celsius when you said that.
Yeah.
I always mean Celsius.
Yeah.
As a person who lives on Earth, I always mean Celsius.
Of
They
course.
haven't gotten him yet. They've
been trying.
For breaking 40 is, I think I've only done that twice in my life before, and that was like I went to Arizona for a weekend one time, and I went to Vegas. When I was younger. Those were 40, but 40 degrees with no air conditioning in sight was a lot of fun. We ended up going up to the hills. There's a swimming lake there. We went there like the first day. We went swimming in the lake. That was great. We went back the second day because it got even hotter. That's the day it hit 40. Swimming again. But I guess it was actually closed, so like the cops came and kicked us out, which was a bummer.
Oh,
but we had already been there for like an hour, so we kind of got our fill anyway. So that was lucky for us. But anyway, that's been my whirlwind of a week.
Nice. Sounds cool. I've just been watching TV. Agretsuko season 3 came out. The Boys season 2. So
yeah, The Boys is very. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
It's good.
They did a weird release of They didn't do the full season. They didn't do a weekly thing, kind of the HBO model. They did 3 episodes, and then now it's a weekly one.
Yeah,
which is odd. I wish they had dropped the whole thing because, like,
yeah.
I just wanted to binge it. I was enjoying it so much. What did you think?
I mean, so far so good. I also wish that there was more, but I guess now we wait. So I might just wait for all of it to come out and binge it all at one time at this point, but I'm not sure yet.
We're like too interested. We're definitely gonna watch the new episode tomorrow and keep up with it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Any interest in Lovecraft Country?
I keep forgetting about it. So yes, but I just keep forgetting.
I think you would really like it. I think that would be up your alley quite a bit.
Yeah, I want to check it out. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a busy gaming week, as you'll see soon. But yeah. Agretsuko Season 3 is fun too. That's a great time. But yeah, just waiting for more boys, more the boys.
Boys.
Yep.
The boys.
What about you, John?
Not all that much, honestly. We did another stream with DC Douglas. That was on Saturday. We're doing the 3rd one this Saturday, so in a day or two. We're going to try to see if we can push to beat the game Saturday. I don't know. We're going to come close. Otherwise, it's been just usual stream stuff and just slow tidying up. The office is pretty much good to go at this point. I just have a bit of clutter on the floor to clean up and I guess free my desk up.
I was going to say, it looks like there's a lot less stuff on the floor.
Yeah. No, the office is... The mess is congregated to specifically around my desk now. There's like a sphere of just clutter on the floor, just on my around my desk.
Nice.
And there's a bunch of posters and stuff I can hang up still, but like the majority of the stuff I was going to hang is already done.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much been it for me. Nice and quiet otherwise.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, let's do a podcast then, because it is September 10th. Just wondering, is that my sister's birthday? It is not.
Okay. The pause. The pause.
I had to do it in my head for a second there. It is not. Don't worry. This is the Top End Perspective. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
Don't we all talk about Tony Hawk?
Okay. That is Tony Hawk.
Yeah. Done. That's what the HD one should have been for sure. It's really fun. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. I mean, I think
it's really good.
I've unlocked pretty much everything in it right now. I'm just going back into it every day and doing a new skater, all their challenges. So it's been a good way for kind of doing like about a 2-hour session every day, listen to some music, and I got sick of the music already, so I made my own music playlist for my Tony Hawk jams. Some of the songs are in there, but overall, it's stuff I would have listened to and was listening to during that time. So that's been super fun. I was
gonna ask you guys, what are your like favorite like new track additions?
I don't have any because I played it on stream and had to turn off the music.
Yeah, I could see that.
Man, what a bummer. I feel like the soundtrack for the Tony Hawk game is
it definitely takes away from the experience. It definitely takes away from the experience. There's no denying that.
For sure.
I guess question just for Paul then.
I'm trying to think of what the new songs even are. Like I'm trying to I should bring up a list maybe of all the songs in it. I don't have any standouts, I guess, if that's what you're asking.
I was happy to see Real Big Fish, but I don't think they were in any of the ones before.
I just kind of looked up the two for the new ones that I'm a big fan of. There's a Billy Talent song I'm liking quite a bit. Afraid of Heights.
I don't care for that one.
And I also like a Zebrahead song called, I think it's My Friends Are Nobodies.
Okay, Zebrahead's good. Yeah. I guess that was new. It's hard to tell some of the things. Like
some of it blends in well from what I've been seeing on other streams.
Yeah, it all matches.
They all match
thematically.
Yeah.
So follow-up question: what bands do you think should have been on the soundtrack, or do you think like would fit in just perfectly? Because I got 2.
Oh, okay. Let me look up my Spotify playlist I made up, and I'll tell you what want on there. But what are your two?
My two is I think Anti-Flag.
Anti-Flag.
Right at home in there.
Yeah, that would be good. You're right.
And then, and I'm almost surprised this one isn't there because they're still making music. Blink-182.
Yeah, I almost wonder if there's like a rights problem or something. Like I don't know why. Yeah.
I just feel like they probably could have gotten like whatever the second or most recent single from Blink-182 is, probably would fit right at home. I don't know what it is. I haven't listened to them in a while, but
so on my list, I chose a different Millencolin song. Pennywise. I don't know why Pennywise isn't on there. That's weird to me.
See that? Sure. Yeah.
I chose a different Billy Talent song, one I like more. No Rise Against on there was kind of interesting to me because that seems like it probably fits.
I was also going to say Rise Against could fit.
Rise Against has been in Tony Hawk. They were in Underground.
Yeah, but they're not on
that.
This.
Makes sense.
Like another one that it has been in Tony Hawk but isn't in this that I would like is CKY. Like that.
Oh yeah.
Put that in there. Why not? 96 Quite Bitter Beans.
Hearing Billy Talent again, which I hadn't listened to Billy Talent in probably a decade. Just like straight brought me back to going to a concert that had all three: Billy Talent, Anti-Flag, and Rise Against.
Oh,
and I was like,
that's funny.
And oh yeah, all three of those would just fit right at home, like we just said.
Yeah,
and that was a new Billy Talent song they did too, wasn't it? I think that's one of the more recent tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking up. It's like a 2016 one. I think that's their most recent music as well. I don't think they've made an album in a few years.
Yeah. For some reason I thought they had something like super recent.
It's not the song that's in the game, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, they have an album coming out. That's what it is. But they have released songs from it. That's what it is.
Okay.
They've released 3 songs from a new album. The last track they put out was April 3rd of this year.
Right on.
Yeah, Forgiveness 1 and 2, Reckless Paradise, and I Beg to Differ.
Anti-Flag is a good choice, actually. That's one that should be in there. You're right. I'm trying to think of... Oh, like I have a My Chemical Romance song on here as well. Would go good there.
I wouldn't put My Chemical Romance in Tony Hawk. I mean, I personally would. I don't think it would fit.
It would absolutely fit. Before they went all melancholy and about cancer and death, they had some more upbeat shit, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a pretty good list of things. Less Than Jake would go good in there because they're happy and upbeat enough that.
Yep, that'd be another good one for sure. Yep.
No Rancid is kind of weird, I guess, but I don't know. I like Rancid, so. Yeah.
Yeah, I like you can just change the song with hitting R3. That's so great.
Yeah, it's pretty good for sure. Also, it's been my podcast game, so I just turned the music off completely when I'm listening to stuff. Yeah, I have about 30 hours in it, I would say now, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. It's easily.
Do you have everyone unlocked, or?
Oh yeah, everything's unlocked so far, but I'm going through.
How many characters are there? I know there's Officer Dick and the Alien.
That's it. From what I can tell.
Never mind.
Well, somebody was saying there's one that you unlock with a cheat code, but like I haven't like Googled things yet.
I was doing a multiplayer session and somebody was a skeleton.
That's the deluxe edition pre-order.
Yeah, I didn't buy the pre-order or the deluxe edition.
No. Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah, I did start with my own skateboard. What's that?
You didn't want the skateboard?
I didn't want to spend the extra money more than anything. But yeah, I started with my own creative skater. That was fun, choosing all my different moves and stuff like that, and that was cool. I played around in the park editor a little bit until I realized I couldn't do exactly what I wanted because it's a little finicky, so I stopped. I was basically going to make the Calgary skate park here, the Shaw Millennium. Can't because of some things missing. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been going in every day and basically doing it as a daily, unlocking stuff on a skater, getting all their stat points, doing all their challenges, and then logging off. It's been fun. It's a good game.
Yeah, I've finished all the challenges from Hawk 1. I'm working on 2 right now, which is like new stuff for me. I will say, I think the Portland map
Burnside
is the worst one. Yeah, that's my least
Downhill
favorite.
Jam is way worse.
It's a competition one.
It's not even just because there's like a competition one. I just don't really like the layout. I don't think there's any like especially cool sections. All pretty similar.
I mean, it is a real life place.
It's based on real life. Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Actually, all of Tony Hawk 1, even though that was the one I cut my teeth on and spent all the time in, most of those maps are fucking terrible. They're absolutely god awful. The Tony Hawk 2 maps are.
You don't like School 1?
Like
School 1, I think is fine.
No, you're completely wrong.
School 2 is way better.
Bad.
School 2 is way better.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's better. I think it's fine. Warehouse is a classic.
Warehouse is the only one that's iconic. Yeah. And well, Downhill Jam's iconic for a bad reason. That's a bad move.
I'm not a huge fan of Downhill Jam.
Or Mall.
The fact that you can manual on Downhill Jam makes that playable at least. Like, unlike the actual
San
first
Francisco
game.
Streets.
San Francisco Streets is okay. I think that that one got a good glow up.
What's the other city? Is it City? What's the
Downtown? Yeah,
that one. It's fine.
Yeah. Downtown's okay. None of them are as good as any of the Tony Hawk 2 ones. Tony Hawk 2 just had better maps. I guess that stands for reason.
That's what happens when you make a sequel. You get better at it.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to talk about. It's kind of one of those things that if you cared at all about Tony Hawk 1 and 2, you should fucking buy it. Like, it's that game again with all the modern trappings that make it playable, because those first games are kind of hard to go back to, especially literally the first one. Yeah, that first game is really hard to go back to.
John.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, John, why don't you keep going with what you played?
Sure. Doing Fall Guys as my dailies. That's my daily game now, I guess, is Fall Guys.
Nice.
Finally got my first round.
Oh, nice. Congrats. What was your final match that you won? Because I don't think I've ever won on Fall Mountain. Ever.
No, Fall Mountain is solved at this point. Like,
yeah.
The only way you will win on that is if you just do never get hit and know exactly where to go. And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
I got it off of the tail chase or whatever it is. The one where it's just, there's 6 players, 1 tail. But I got lucky in that we were in a group of 3 when it was a group of 4 playing, but we got to the final with 3 of us there. So half the party was half the 6 players were in our group. So nice. We were basically making sure, like, no matter what, one of us got the tail.
Nice.
But I just got lucky. 6 seconds left, and every player was chasing them except for me, and they ran past me. I just grabbed it and walked away.
Nice. Awesome.
So it was a lucky win. And we had another run on the exact same setup where, like, we had to play defense to keep the other player and let them get the trophy. Or
nice.
The crown, rather. But yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of hackers in that game now.
There are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That sucks.
I don't know why. Then again, I don't know why you would hack any game. So.
It was funny the first few times I saw somebody go really fast or fly up in the air. Now it's just like, okay, what am I playing?
Yeah, exactly. Every time we would get into a room, we're like, all right, hacker. Oh, no, he's actually hacking. Well, might as well leave this lobby. We're not going to win this unless he gets booted out.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, no, that game is fun. Apparently they're getting better at banning hackers, so maybe it'll be super fun to enjoy again soon.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Other than that, this month's game clearing game is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. So we're playing through that on Mondays now on stream.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I've never beaten any of the Returns games. So I've never beaten this one, and I've never beaten DKC Returns. They, as someone who grew up with the original trilogy, are weird to get used to because the physics are just different enough that it fucks with you.
Oh, okay.
Like grab is a shoulder button, but rolling is still the same button. And so is running. So it's weird to get used to in that aspect. There's this weird quirk where if you're turning around, animation priority kicks in and you can't start a roll or anything. So you have a second where you need to just be careful if you're trying to speed ahead.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 partners you can get, Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky, and they each play very differently. But as is Donkey Kong Country tradition, Dixie is the superior partner.
All right.
Are you playing the Funky edition?
This is the Switch version, but I'm not playing Funky mode, no.
Okay.
Funky mode apparently is like way easier because you have an extra heart for all of your Kongs. You can double jump. You are immune to spikes, and like you can hover in midair. Like he's just crazy broken.
Okay. Yeah, because he has like the surfboard, right? Doesn't that help with one of those?
Yeah, the surfboard does. I think all of those actually.
Okay.
He's just super OP. The interesting thing about it though is like that game is still kind of challenging. There was a challenge stage I got stuck on for quite a while. It burned a lot of lives, but the game gives you so many lives in return that you don't really get in trouble. There's a cap of 99 lives, and I've been there for a while. I have like 500 coins in my inventory because there's nothing to buy with them. I can buy items that will help me in the stages, but I don't need them because I have 99 lives. So
yeah.
Everyone's telling me I'll burn through them a fair amount in the later game, and I can see why based on the special stages I've done so far. But I don't know. It's been tough but fair so far. It's just getting used to the quirks that weren't there in the original games that have been messing me up.
Cool.
I remember liking the way the silhouette stages looked.
Yes, they still look amazing.
There's like looks like an avalanche one somewhere near the beginning of that game that's really cool.
That might have been Returns and not 3D. I don't know. I've finished the first 2 worlds completely, and there was only one silhouette stage, no avalanche.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I played those games, so I don't know. I want to say it was Tropical Freeze though, but
probably avalanche would make sense, but that would be later game because we haven't hit any ice stages yet. Yeah, no, that's been fun, and we'll continue that on Monday for streams. But that's all I've been playing.
Sean, what have you been doing? What's up your sleeve of games?
So yeah, I just wrapped up Tell Me Why, and yeah I liked that. That is just more of that style of game, so I enjoyed it.
How does it compare to Life is Strange 2?
This is a lot slower and like more low key.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the powers alone and tell me why your power is like
talking with your brother, essentially
reliving memories.
Yeah,
and talking with your mind to your twin. Life is Strange 2, you have telekinesis, so you can throw shit, and you throw some shit at you throw heavier and heavier stuff as the season goes on. Well, I guess I want to say maybe I liked Life is Strange 2 more just because it does get more exciting. Like there are some like kind of like some real crazy stuff going on with the stakes. But for different reasons, I liked this one. I liked I really enjoy the relationship between Tyler and Allison. I thought that was done pretty well. And it just it plays the same. I like those games. I was definitely happy to get another one of those. I would have been happy getting another 2 episodes instead of the 3. But it was, it's a smaller game, so it was a good game. I enjoy it. If you have Game Pass, why not?
Sure.
I finished Paper Mario.
Oh, okay.
That game also gets a thumbs up. I liked that.
Okay. Did you feel the ending was rushed? Because that was the issue I felt.
Not really. When do you feel like it starts rushing the ending?
I feel like there was no good motivation for the main villain, and that the resolution the resolution kind of sucked too.
I feel like because the motivation's not great, you're gonna kind of get a silly resolution.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I feel like part of it is they were trying to go with a joke. How silly it was, but yeah, no, I'll agree with you.
Too silly on that one.
It did fall a little flat. But then again, I didn't really think the story was like the highlight of that game. I just enjoyed talking to all the toads and characters and the jokes. I thought the writing was outside of the main story was very good and enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, I like the writing too, but I figured like the ending would have stuck a bit better.
Yeah, not the highlight. And again, those boss fights were all very enjoyable.
What did you think of the games show section? Because we hated that.
Shy Guy one?
Yeah.
I struggled a little bit. I remember. I think I was fine with it. I don't feel like I had strong feelings really towards it. Why would you hate it?
We had just been doing like a session for a while. Like we had been in that whole zone for a while, and we were just like, oh, come on, we just want to get to the next dungeon. I don't want to say what it is for spoilers. We just want to get to the next part and just move along. And it was just like, oh god, this is taking forever.
And that's the one you need to like fill up you get a certain number of points, right?
Yeah. And it randomizes what category you get and how much points they're worth or the difficulty of them. And it kept giving us the hardest difficulty right out of the gate, so I couldn't learn any of the actual categories.
I see. Yeah, I'm thinking, or assumption is I just got easier stuff than you did.
Probably.
I was really bad at the like fix the image one. I could like never do those ones. I don't even remember what the other ones were, to be honest.
There is a true ending to the game. I'm air quoting that for the audio listeners. And to get it, you have to get it perfect on that game show. You can't fail a single category.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, that sucks. No one I know who's done that likes it.
Is it like, without saying what it is it like worth it? Like, is it a significant difference?
No.
Yeah, I would assume it's not. So
no.
Yeah. The bomb guy is the best. That whole arc with him, that's the best part of that game.
With Bobby?
Bobby, yeah, that whole thing is fantastic. So yeah, I guess there's that. Okay, what else? Minecraft Dungeons has a new piece of DLC out. I think it might be the last one, or at least it's the last one that came as part of the like hero edition that you could get.
Right.
So this is like the ice area.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you what's going on in the story because I could barely tell you any of that game's story because why would you care? But it's fine. It's more Minecraft. They also I don't think this came along with this update. I think it was a previous update. But there's a whole bunch of like new shops in the like the lobby, but whatever your like home base is.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like actually trade items and give items to people, which is great. It's no longer completely random what item you'll purchase. You can actually buy specific things you want, and you can upgrade things you do have to make them better. They definitely kind of brought forward like, oh, if you're making a loot game, you're going to need these things. So that was nice to see, but I'm also at like the end of the game, so I don't really care anymore for the most part. I'm not hurting for supplies. One thing that I just thought was weird, and this is just kind of a throwaway little thing, is so the first piece of DLC that came out, the jungle island or section, whatever, didn't have any new achievements. Right, whatever, kind of a bummer, but who cares? So, and we had played through that when it came out. So the ice one comes out last week, and we jump in to play that. It added a bunch of achievements for the jungle one. Later on.
Oh
yeah, like after adding the actual map. I don't know, I've never seen that before. So we just went back and redid all the jungle stuff just to get some points. But yeah, that was just such a weird little thing.
That game deleted my character. If you have that on Game Pass on PC and you uninstall it, it doesn't save anything in the cloud. So I'm done with that game.
Oh, hey, at least you saw the main story the way through, so you got that ending, and now you got that all tied up.
That's super
I know you were worried about what happened with that wizard?
With villager? I don't know.
Yeah. Wow, guys. Wow.
There was a wizard, and there was something with an orb.
Yeah, there was that guy who got picked on, and then he got evil. And then you kill him?
I don't even remember that. Slenderman is there? Yeah. Oh, Enderman is there?
Slenderman.
I was like, did you say Blenderman?
Blenderman.
Basically. Might as well have been. Anyways, yeah, that's all I've been playing. What about you, Paul?
I wrapped up Spiritfarer. Everything that I could do in one run, which means that there's a thing that you have an option to do something for somebody or not do it for them, and you can't do both. So that's lingering, and I'm not going to go back and do that. It's about you can tell a character a thing or not tell them a thing.
Oh, okay. So if you're going for the achievement, which I know you are, as soon as you tell them one thing, you can quit the game, and you can tell them the other one and get both the achievements.
Sure.
There's a little pro tip.
Also, I got sick of trying to make the final I think I talked about last week the dog character that doesn't like being hugged or like really talked to even. Just a complete bitch character. I stopped trying to make her happy. So I just got rid of her thing.
Stopped trying to make all of them happy. It takes too much effort.
Yeah.
I stopped feeding them.
Oh, did you? Oh no, everything else.
Yeah,
was
which
done.
I don't know if this was on purpose or if it just kind of like, the random AI ended up being it. One of them started blocking buildings I needed to get into.
Oh, really?
And so I would be like, is this like actually blocking because I haven't fed you in probably weeks in game time? So I would give them food and then they would like fly off. And I was like, are you doing that just because I interacted with you? Or like, are you actually blocking what I need to get into? Like, I couldn't tell.
Well, if you have sheep on your ship and you don't feed them and they're not in a stable, they will eat your crops to stay alive, which is funny.
I always had the sheep in a stable. This was like an actual character, a spirit.
Oh, okay. Weird.
I thought the ending of that game was really sweet.
I mean, it just ends. It ends when it needs to.
And then I
thought the ending
like the credits, you get to see all the people that they're based on.
Oh,
I just thought that was really heartwarming.
I don't know if you saw the tweet I made to them, but their ending credits were fucked on my screen. They were all jumbled and I didn't get any credits.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
There's a picture of it. I sent them. That's like
super weird.
All of the writing just all like jumbled up together for some reason. That final mission is depressing because usually you go and you have somebody to talk to, but that last time,
I thought it was sweet.
Yeah,
so they did a good job with it.
Yeah, it was fun. I played Marvel's Avengers. I liked that story hook enough that I decided to go for it. It's more of that Miss Marvel or Kamala Khan or whatever you want to call her. She's great. She's a great character. The setup that's Avengers is the fact that they need to be assembled yet again. Otherwise, that's actually Marvel's Inhumans,
Classic.
Which doesn't sell as good as the Avengers name does. It's literally about the Inhumans. So that's great.
I've actually heard surprisingly good things about this game as it's come out now.
It's at odds,
especially when you compare it to what people were saying about the beta.
It's at odds with itself. The problem is that the story beats, when it's a crafted thing to tell a story, those parts are dope. There's like great moments where the different characters get to shine in their moment of like what they can do well, and there's like good story beats. But then sometimes there's like, as whoever you're playing, with people or not with people, stand in the circle until Jarvis hacks it, and that fucking sucks. That shit sucks. That mixing into the campaign is lazy and shitty, and that sucks because the other stuff is so good. All the intro stuff with Miss Marvel, kind of like finding the broken down Chimera and trying to assemble the Avengers is great. Every time you get a new Avenger and you kind of get more of the story of what happened, and then you get like a mission where they get to shine, is great. And then they put you into a thing where you have to stand in a circle as a character until a meter goes up and fight shit, and then it sucks again. It's like, this could have been the best game of this year if they had just focused on making a really good, tight Marvel single player story, but instead they had a whole bunch of like multiplayer shit thrown in there, and
well, yeah, because single player story, you can't just keep charging people for a whole year. You can't just keep bringing money in.
Right. This game does have what are essentially season passes as well for literally every hero. So you get to level up every hero and buy stuff for them if you want. I guess like the less gross thing about that is that they're not actual season passes, so they don't go away after a certain time. If you unlock the premium thing for whatever hero, it's just there forever because it's not time-based. But yeah, you can put money, I think it's $10 in per hero to unlock their like premium track, and that's not including whatever other cosmetic stuff you might want from the store in there that are also on limited time. Some of that stuff, they definitely found ways to monetize it, I'll tell you that. That's in there. Yeah,
I think my plan for this game at this point is I'm gonna like wait for a sale because I got plenty to play right now.
Sure.
I also hear it's a bit buggy, so I'll give it time to kind of fix itself a little.
It has optimization problems on PC. Yeah, it runs weird every now and then.
But I think I'm gonna look at it like a Division 2, whereas I don't really have any interest in doing all the like repeatable missions over and over again. I just kind of want to play through the story. And whenever because it is a live game, whenever they come out with like new story-based missions, I'll just jump in and do those, and hopefully get better with community feedback. Because I feel like most of these loot games, almost the first year sucks.
Yep.
They need to like a second pass. So it's like, so hopefully it kind of gets to a place that we'd expect, and that could be really cool.
Yep. I'm having enough fun in the story stuff. I like getting all the little collectibles and seeing the different comic covers in there, and like hearing they're fully voice acted like audio logs of the stuff you can pick up and stuff about the characters. I think all that's very cool. It is one of those things where you have to be a Marvel fan though. Like if you don't care enough about it, this is all horseshit. This is a bad game. But you have to actually care about like these characters and the world and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty contingent on that. The gameplay loop isn't good enough to make you a believer if you aren't already. So
yeah. I don't know who's buying an Avengers game that doesn't enjoy Marvel properties.
I mean,
I'm sure there's
keep in mind though, the majority of people are going to be just the ones who enjoy the movies though. Like that's the average.
I would call those a Marvel fan. If you like the MCU movies, you like Marvel characters. Like,
and I will say to their credit, it's written like one of those. It has good comedic timing. It has weird, awkward pauses sometimes that are funny. Like it's written well. It's well written, well voice acted. Good. I mean, they have all the money in the world to buy the best voice actors in the world to do it. Yeah,
but not the actors.
But not the actors. It's true.
I mean, that would be too much money.
All the money.
True. That's true. It is a solid mediocre, I would say. And that's somebody who likes Marvel stuff. If you don't, it's probably pretty bad. So it has that element of it.
I see this being a Black Friday purchase for me.
Yeah, a really, really good sale. This is totally worth it. Like a really good sale, for sure. The last thing I played is Outer Worlds finally got its first DLC, Peril on Gorgon. So I played through that, I think yesterday it came out and I played through it.
How long is it?
It's about 5-ish hours. Not too long.
Okay.
Yeah. So
this is, I want to play it. I bought it. I bought the expansion pass so that I'll get the other one.
Yep, me too.
Next year whenever that comes out.
Yep.
This is what I'm looking for. And please tell me if it's in there. There's a character named Pavardi.
All of your characters from before are in there. So even if you haven't played the Outer Worlds and like you are just starting it, whatever characters you currently have, you can go do this mission with. So
I just want more Pavardi and I want more of the Reverend.
Yeah. I took Nyoka, the mercenary. The drunk mercenary.
I'm just remembering all these characters. What was the like the scrappy little dude? It wasn't super cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't care. I don't like him
again.
I don't know.
And let me remind you, because you're gonna start to like him. I have to remind you. His like special attack is he just drop kicks a guy with both feet.
Yeah, but I don't care.
So good.
He lives in a corner somewhere.
So awesome.
We throw him scraps whenever he gets hungry.
Probably didn't see the execution. Maybe he didn't hear me. I'm muted.
Am I muted? Yeah. So it's just another story mission where you go to Gorgon. You try to kind of figure out what happened there. It ties in with it's a lot of Spacer's Choice stuff. I guess my biggest problem with it, if I have any problem with it at all, is that they didn't add any really fun, interesting new enemies. It's still robots and like shitty primates and a lot of robots, a fucking lot of robots, and it's so boring. It's so boring killing robots.
Is the story good at least?
Yeah, the story's pretty good. It's kind of detective-y. You're figuring out like what happened here. You need to go talk to somebody, so you go to another planet and like talk to them, find out what part they had in this thing. It's good. It's some good stuff. And then
hard choices.
It has a good ending where it's like you can side with this person or this person, and they both make good points on this situation.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Easily worth the $15 or whatever it is for.
I think it's 15 for one, 25 for both.
Yeah, that sounds right.
American, obviously.
Yep. So, it was weird to go back to the Outer Worlds a little bit, and man, after playing more games that came out this year and stuff, that is some janky horseshit game. Like, it's hard to...
Oh, so Obsidian made it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, totally. It's hard to go... When you go back to it, it's just like, oh, right. Everything felt a little weird in this game. You get used to it again. But it's like, yeah, this is not a polished thing at all. This is a little janky in a lot of ways, but I guess that's why we love it. It's still good. Still good stuff. That's all I've been playing.
Right. Why don't we do some news?
So much news.
There's a whole bunch. And I mean, like,
nothing happened. Nothing
say that every
happened.
week.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, nothing did happen. Start with the big one. This leaked at, like, I want to say like 9 p.m. on Pacific time. Is this on Monday night? It was Monday night.
I think so.
The Xbox Series S is real. Leaked by some tech reporter, Brad something. And then a few hours later, Xbox was like, yo, let's just make it official. Put out a little trailer for the Series S. This thing seems real cool. Like,
the best kept secret in gaming. The best kept secret in gaming.
Sure, for sure. We all knew it was coming. Looks like an Xbox One S with the color. It's all white, except it's got a huge ass fan right on the front of it, which I think looks kind of cool. Just how silly this thing looks.
It makes it look like a speaker.
It does. Yeah.
It looks kind of like a speaker for sure, or like a walkie-talkie, but like a big one.
Yeah, that too.
$300, smallest Xbox ever. They're saying it's 60% smaller than the X. Surprisingly powerful. We'll get into the specs in a little bit. One thing I did want to highlight, and this is from one of the senior reporters over at The Verge. I'll just read the tweet. Microsoft has confirmed that the Series S is the same CPU as the Xbox Series X, running at 3.6 gigahertz. Yes, the Series S is faster than the PS5.
Wow.
Yeah, like, it's kind of crazy how much of a big deal this thing seems to be at the $300 price point going into next gen. Next gen console for $300. Like, Microsoft is coming out punching. I think that's like the best way to put it for the most part.
I mean, well, then there's the other announcements that they made, which we haven't gotten to yet.
Right, we'll kind of go through. Yeah. I will want to say they Spencer came online and basically said they were planning to announce this all next week. But then once everything leaked, they were like, whatever, let's just tweet it out. Here we go. Along with the S, they announced November 10th is the release dates. Pre-orders going live September 22nd. And then a few days later, they were like, let's just do the X now. The X is $500. Same deal, 10th and 22nd. What do you guys think? What do you think of the prices and the two versions?
I don't know if we mentioned it. The Series S is digital only, no disk drive.
Correct.
And,
yes.
And like super small. I think it looks nice. I honestly think the S looks nicer. But that also might be because I'm at a point where space is at a premium for myself for consoles.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, that price difference between the two.
The smaller one, the one that's going to fit nicer in my entertainment center, will be the S for sure. I don't even know how I'm going to figure out a vertical one. My entertainment center is set up shelving wise to have laying flat consoles. If you want the power, you got to go for the big one, right?
Yeah, I'm getting the big boy. But yeah, that price difference between those two models is wow. $200 US price difference. And they said the Canadian prices as well, and they were also comparable, I think.
Yeah.
Actually cheaper if you get it in Canadian.
$360 for the Series S Canadian and $600 for the X.
$600 for the X, which is a little actually cheaper. If I converted my money and went up there, I could actually save a bit of money.
It was like
if
$60
I bought a Canadian
cheaper
one.
Or something for the big one.
Yeah,
like 15.
So congrats to you guys.
Finally.
Exactly. Finally,
our crappy dollar finally pays off.
Yes. Yeah, no, good prices. No chance I buy either, though. So.
Looking up for that spec comparison sheet that I was seeing going around. Here it is. It's close enough.
I feel like the real bummer with this so far is there's just no killer title right now for Xbox because Halo got delayed.
Right, I have the launch titles in our list of news, but we'll go through that a little later because there's some more kind of game announcements I wanted to touch on first.
Oh, okay.
Let me just kind of go through the spec sheet right here. Series S digital only, Series X 4K Blu-rays, 512 gigabytes for the Series S versus the 1 terabyte on the X. The X does 4K at 60 frames per second up to 120. The S does 1440 60 frames up to 120. 16 gigabytes of RAM for the Series X versus 10 on the S. Power-wise, it's the 12 teraflops versus 4 for the S. The other stuff is all pretty similar. For the most part, you're just getting is just a less powerful Xbox X. That's kind of all
what they marketed it as.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I don't feel like this thing is kneecapped that much. Unless you're really wanting the X, I don't think you should feel bad about getting an S.
I mean, yeah, if you have the money, you probably, if you're getting one of these and you should get the X for sure. It is considerably more powerful, but man, that is such a good price for what you're getting. That's crazy. $300.
I feel like this is just turning into a discussion about PC games in general, where it's just yeah, no, if you can get the nice end card, go for that. But if you can't, you'll be okay with this end card.
Yeah,
that's literally what that discussion is.
The crazy thing with Microsoft is you can push that conversation even further and says, hey, if you don't even want to spend the $300, it's cool. All of our first party stuff is still coming to the one.
Yeah.
So don't even worry about it for a while if you don't want to. We should also mention the all access plans that they have also announced.
Yes.
They had done this in the past with the One X before. These are the monthly installment programs. And they had talked about in the past having a kind of an upgrade path for the new consoles. They have 2 of them, one for each of these now. I believe it is 25 and 30 a month, if I'm remembering correctly.
25 for one of them for sure.
I think that's the S.
Yeah, 25
either 30 or 35. I can't quite remember. I don't have the thing up in front of me right now.
I saw 25 a month for 24 months. I think that was, they didn't say which model on the ad. That was just the video ad they were running.
I mean, we could quickly do the math and we'll find out.
We could, yeah.
It's 600. And let's see, 15 times 20. I think that is the S. Yes, that is the S. So for $25 a month, you get an Xbox One S and you get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. You pay it for the 24 months. If you do it the monthly install bit, you will actually save money.
Crazy.
Yeah. You will save $60. Same with the Series X one. I think you end up saving $20 if you do the monthly install plan. And at this point, I don't know why you would not have Game Pass Ultimate for these. It just makes sense. You're gonna want gold anyway. It's just it just makes too much sense. So I think I guess here's the question for you guys: Microsoft walking into next gen, a $300 console. How do you think Sony responds, or what do you think they thought of when that came up?
There's no way that disc only or that disc driveless PS5 is going to be a $200 price difference. We were reluctant to give it a $100 price difference when we were talking about it.
Yeah, my thoughts are still 400, 500.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I can see that. Yep.
They must have been kicking themselves. What are we gonna do when that $300 model came out? Because there's no way they had $300 on a whiteboard, right? You know what I mean? I was surprised Microsoft had $300 on a whiteboard somewhere.
Yeah,
I can't see can't see Sony being like, I guess we have to match them. There's no way, right?
I don't think so. I think Sony probably felt pretty comfortable this generation. They'll probably just softball it.
Yeah.
They'll eat the hit. They'll take the hit.
I think so too.
Yeah, I guess we'll see going forward. There's rumors swirling about when Sony's going to respond. People are thinking next week. I guess we'll find out and we'll see. We're thinking this week with like I think it was like PlayStation's 25th anniversary of its launch this week. So they were thinking maybe on that day. That obviously did not happen.
No. Sony's proven that they're not thinking about the consumer first for a while. So why would they start now all of a sudden? Speaking of which, they showed, if you want, there was a price release for the PS5 if you want to spend about $8,000. Apparently there's pre-orders for a gold PS5 that are opening on September 10th, which is amazing and so fucking stupid. I love it. So there's
today. You could have done it today.
Yeah.
Probably sold out, right? Like I'm sure someone did it.
Dude,
I'm sure someone did it.
I'm sure someone did it, and I'm sure they're a YouTuber. Almost certainly. Okay, so for people that may not know, here are the prices that we're talking about if you want like basically a solid gold PlayStation. You can get 24K gold digital PS5 for 8,000 euros. 18K rose gold digital PS5 for 8,100 euros, or platinum digital PS5 for 8,200 euros. And that's only apparently the PlayStation, I think. Wait, limited edition, 250 pieces made. The price includes one console, 2 DualSense controllers, and 1 3D Pulse headset. The extra controllers are 650 euros, and an extra headset is 400 euros. Amazing.
That controller is going to cost more than the actual system will to regular consumers. That's
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Why not? Why did they do this? It's so weird.
It is so weird.
Well, I don't think Sony did it, right? I think it's through this truly exquisite. Who is doing this? Is it through Sony? I don't think so.
UK's premier luxury customizing brand.
Truly exquisite.
Yeah, there are 3 colors. You can get a gold one, you can get a rose gold one, and then there's this platinum one.
Yeah, the platinum one's the
pre-order deposit is 50% of the price, by the way. So if you're thinking of pre-ordering it as a joke, it's still an expensive joke.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I wish I had this much fuck you money to just do this.
Goddamn,
you would get a lot of fuck you money.
Some serious fuck you money. They have this for like phones and stuff too, whatever this website is.
It's funny because
they're just a luxury brand straight up. They just do this shit all the time.
If you had this type of fuck you money, the reason you have it is because you don't do this type of shit with your money.
But that definition, that's not fuck you money. Then you have to be so rich that you can have this as fuck you money.
Right? Yeah, you have to be so rich that you don't care. I mean, that's the definition of fuck you money.
Yeah. Stupid. All right. Absolutely stupid. I pulled this because I thought it was kind of funny. That Rocket Arena game, Sean, that you were like, this thing should be free. Well, it is if you have Pride Gaming on PC right now. They're giving it away.
And that makes sense.
So
I bet it's about to be free to play everywhere.
Give it a month. Yeah, I was going to say give it like another month, and that'll be, if you have an account on Origin, you get it for free. And then if you have an account on Steam, you get it for free. Yeah. Yep. There's more stuff to talk about with the Xbox stuff, specifically, though. Game Pass for PC, intro price is done next week. It will go to the normal price of double what it is currently. It's been $5 American now every month. It will go up to $10 American every month. So, yeah.
Which is the same price as the console one.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Game Pass Ultimate, though, is not changing the price. So it's just kind of adding more of a value to that. That's staying at 15.
Sure. Yeah. So just as like a PSA, if you're playing it on PC like I am, it's going to go up by double. It's still a fantastic price.
Yeah, you can lock yourself in for a while if you like purchase stuff now. So if you want to save a bit, do that.
Yep. I guess the bigger news with Game Pass is that EA Play, which is the old EA Access and EA Origin Vault shit mixed into like a new branding scheme, is going to be included in Game Pass.
This is crazy. No extra cost. Just, hey, here's a bunch of EA games.
That makes sense to me, because like, there's one game a year that I cared about EA's Access enough to get it for a month to try that game out. I'm like, sure, throw it in Game Pass. That makes sense. You guys don't have that many games people give a shit about anyway.
It's crazy is they're not raising the price of Game Pass at all. Like,
so what I'm shocked there to make EA was cool with
this deal.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
EA was like, we'll no longer take your subscription money anymore. So Microsoft must have just been like, we'll get you. They must have such a higher install base that they're like, hey, if you go with, our number of people, you're just going to get more people and you're going to get whatever royalties. And maybe they have some kind of like special deal for EA. It's such a big company and they're kind of rolling something in, but just like, way to go, Game Pass. Like, holy shit.
That's a big one.
So I saw someone tweet this week that was like, sooner or later, they're going to be paying you to use Game Pass. It's going to be that good.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay. I pulled this just because I knew we should talk about it. Do you guys have an opinion on Hyrule Warriors, this Calamity thing?
My opinion, and I put this in here just so I could, because I thought Jason Schreier's opinion matched mine perfectly. I'm just going to read the tweet from Jason Schreier.
Okay.
Never has a tweet gotten me so excited and then so disappointed this quickly.
Okay. I'm excited for you, Hyrule Warriors.
This is fun. This is fun. I'm excited for this.
I'm excited for this too. More so than Breath of the Wild 2, I'll even say. This is what I'm more excited for.
That's insane.
So, yeah.
I think this was the right way to do what supposedly the calamity was in Hyrule Wars, in Breath of the Wild. Because what other game out there really conveys the chaos of like a Dynasty Warriors game?
Totally. Yep.
Fun one.
Do you guys get turned off at all when you know how it's going to end? Like, the Titanic's going to sink. You know that Age of Calamity, you're kind of just going to lose.
Halo Reach was a bummer.
Yeah,
Halo
that's what
Reach
I mean.
was a bummer.
Halo Reach, yeah.
Like, it wasn't even the taglines. Like, you already know how it ends. And like, okay, cool. I don't need to play it then. Thanks.
Halo Reach's tagline is, "You don't need to play this."
You can skip this one. You're okay.
Yeah. No, I'm stoked for this. I think this is going to be great. Also, when they were showing footage of it, I'm like, yeah, that's what Hyrule Warriors looks like. And then they showed a little bit of footage of like the other Hyrule Warriors. I'm like, oh god, that other one is so old and ugly looking.
Yeah, they updated things. They updated things a lot. I'm excited for this because like, I'm curious. I liked Hyrule Warriors, but also I'm a little worried because that also means this is a game that is never going to end.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they straight up said like, hey, we're still working on Breath of the Wild 2. Here is just another Breath of the Wild game. So I like that they were just like, here's more, instead of just being like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. I think that's probably why it had a mostly positive reception. And Hyrule Warriors being considered one of the better Warriors games.
It's still a really low bar. Let's just all remember that.
Wait, what's a low bar?
I'm glad you guys are so excited. There's no way I'm playing this game.
I'm not going to lie. This made me want to actually play Hyrule Warriors. I actually almost went and popped it in my Switch. I'm like, all right, let's fucking go. No, wait, hang on. I have other shit to do.
I have other games
I don't have 5 years to put into this right now.
Yeah. I have Bomberman R online to... Oh, wait. Stadia only. Motherfuckers.
Don't remind me.
My
I'm
heart
still
broke
waiting.
Instantly when I realized that
I'm still waiting. It's coming to other systems. I'm still waiting.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of heartbreaking bummer news, remember how Mike Z was like a piece of shit apparently, and a whole bunch of people are like, I can't work for this asshole anymore. The group, the Lab Zero Games, the group that does Skullgirls and Indivisible, they had a whole bunch of controversy. Well, apparently he fired the remaining staff. So that company is just
the remaining, because I think like a week or so ago, a bunch of them quit.
The big ones quit, yeah. Like the people that were making the stuff run and stuff.
Big meltdown there.
So they just went ahead and laid off everybody else because they're not able to meet their obligations to pay them. Yeah, that studio's dead.
Well, that sucks, but he's also a piece of shit, so...
And hopefully those developers, like, make their own studio, and we get kind of like a spiritual successor.
There's no way they don't. Like, I think the majority of them, like, liked working together with each other, and they made some nice stuff.
Right. Well, I mean, they could also just go to different companies. I think that is definitely a way.
Like, they have options. They have so many options. Right. There was a lot of talent at that studio.
Right. It would just be great because if we disperse that talent, we probably won't get something similar to their previous work.
Yeah.
No.
If they do stay together, that would be really cool. Because then we might get something we're kind of known that they're known for. So
I'm hoping they like sell off rights to Indivisible so some other company can make Indivisible 2 or something, maybe hire those people back. I don't know. I'm hopeful. In more bummer news, Spelunky 2 is coming on PC 2 weeks after the PS4 version, so I get to wait 2 weeks longer than I thought. September 29th.
I mean, you're still getting it, though. I thought the bummer news was going to be it's not coming.
Yeah, no. 2 weeks.
It's a good way to look at it. That is also, I think, just a PSA. Spelunky 2 is like next week. Like, holy smokes.
Well, I mean, on the 29th. That's true.
Okay.
In better news,
he doesn't want to face it. He doesn't want to.
In better news, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is coming out a week early because they finally announced that the Xbox is coming out, so they could be like, "Yeah, we're on that."
Right. They had initially said November 17th. Then when the Xbox said November 10th, I guess they were like, it's going to be ready by then. Let's just be there at launch.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's a smart move. Yeah.
I mean, they were already going to be doing the, at least on Xbox, the upgrade path. I can't remember if Sony had said yes for that one. It's so hard to keep track of which PlayStation ones are getting free upgrades or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could have just bought an Xbox One copy and been totally fine. But yeah, now that's there on launch. I dropped these other ones in here. Similarly, a few other games when Xbox announced their date said, hey, we're going to be there. Tetris Effect Connected will be there on launch for the Series X and S.
Okay.
Hey.
So that's cool. As well as the console port of Gears Tactics that will also be on November 10th.
Okay, sure.
Which I believe Tetris and Gears, definitely Gears, are Game Pass games. So it's pretty cool. In a long time since you just bought a console and had a free game. And by free, I mean you spent like $5 on Game Pass, $1 on Game Pass at some points. Anyway,
I feel like that's not quite the definition of free, but yeah, it's just me.
Yeah.
It's pretty close. $5 is pretty close to free. So yeah, and I touched on this a little earlier, so I thought we could just kind of look at what the launch lineup is looking like for the Series X now that it's kind of solidified a bit. And obviously share our thoughts. There are 5 main games that are confirmed. It's Assassin's Creed, it's Gears Tactics, Tetris Effect, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and Destiny 2's Beyond Light, the new expansion.
Sure.
That's not much, though.
I think those are some pretty good looking games.
Those are good games, but Yakuza is available on other platforms. Destiny 2 is available on other platforms. Tetris Effect is available on other platforms. Gears Tactics is available on other platforms, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla is available on other platforms.
Sure, it is no first party. We knew that when they delayed Halo Infinite.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the real stickler. This is going to be the stickler for the longest time. Is that there's still no reason to jump ship to the new gen yet.
Actually, isn't Tetris Effect connected? Exclusive? Isn't it a timed exclusive?
I believe so. And then the deal it gets added as DLC to the other versions or something like that.
I believe, that's correct. So, in terms of exclusive stuff, you're looking at Gears Tactics and Tetris Effect connected,
which is a much smaller list, unfortunately. And there's some still good games, but yeah.
When you compare the two consoles, a lot of these are going to be on both. I think when you compare it to most launch lineups, there's I am interested in playing all 5 of those to some degree. Which I think is pretty rare for a launch lineup. Usually
I don't
there's
know.
like one and a half.
I know we're in a pandemic right now, but it's just like such a weak lineup. It feels like, despite Ultimate or Game Pass being a thing, like for people wanting to get into gaming in the first place, this is fucking great. Xbox X is actually a great place to step on, but for like people who are already in this generation, I feel like there's no real motivation to jump up yet.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And I mean,
the
like
Sony lineup
could
be better, but I feel like we're in the same boat with that.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what the Sony lineup is actually.
That's the thing.
It's
yeah.
Depending what it is, they haven't announced anything I would buy one for. Like
they've announced stuff that looks good, but I think a lot of it's been bumped a bit. Like I don't think Ratchet and Clank is a day one release, right?
I'm pretty sure Ratchet and Clank is next year.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's my point.
Yeah. The only thing that from what I can recall, Astrobot is day one because it's a packing game. Spider-Man is launch window, which whatever that means. It does not mean launch lineup though. So
that usually means within like 3 months.
Right. Again, so I don't think that counts as a launch lineup. I don't feel like that it earns that one.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's it.
Sure.
Yes, Assassin's Creed will have to be there, right?
And the multi-plat stuff.
Yakuza will have to be there.
Yeah.
Destiny 2 will be there. So the only thing day one that we know of so far is Astrobot, which could just be a tech demo for all we know for that controller. I don't know, and I like Astrobot more than the average person, and I'm still a little skeptical.
Sure. Yeah,
I think it's going to be a week on both. I guess like you had just mentioned, and that I'd said earlier, the nice thing for Microsoft is you could get access to almost all this stuff through Game Pass, or still works fine on your Xbox One.
You can tell Microsoft is definitely like, we don't think we can keep doing what we're currently doing, so we're going to leverage us as a service more than anything. You can definitely tell that's the direction they think the marketplace is going to go.
Yeah, it's the
for
way
sure.
To go.
Look at Microsoft xCloud, like they're definitely service, and I bet that is how they're able to offer a $300 console.
Yeah,
this is going to get so many people in the door, and then into our subscription service that will just make it up on the back end.
Yep. For sure.
But at the same time, this brings up like, how much are developers getting off of like Game Pass? Like, what is the cut they get? I wish we knew those numbers.
Yeah, we'll
That's
never
something
know
I really
those
wish we will never. You're
No.
right, but I wish we could find out.
Because
morbidly curious about that.
I bet every developer gets something different, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that's why they will never tell you, because the minute one finds out another one's getting a better one, they're going to start being like, I would like to take more money from you. So we'll never know that for sure. It's got to be doing something positive, because so many games keep going for it, right?
Yeah.
You would think if there was a bunch of bad like blood, people would be like, I'm going to hang off this, but it's proving successful.
Yep.
Who knows? Who knows, man?
All right. Earlier this week, Immortals Phoenix Rising said that they're coming out December 3rd. So that takes us into what happened today. The Ubisoft Forward happened. Yay.
Did you guys watch this?
I did.
No, because I got what I wanted.
Yeah. Everything that they showed here
right there
were
with
stuff
you,
that we assumed might happen. So that was neat. On TDP, I know Sean said maybe a new Prince of Persia or whatever. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, so it had been rumored for a while, like there was leaks, right?
Yeah, I
think it's worth mentioning just real quick off the top before we get into it. Mm-hmm. They did actually put out a video ahead of time this time discussing some of their internal issues that's been going on at Ubisoft. I just kind of wanted to highlight that because I highlighted last time they did nothing. And they even went out of their way to say, we're doing nothing about this. There's no time. They put out a 4-minute video of Yves Guillemot discussing it and whatnot, and kind of some of the stuff they're going through.
Yeah. And then didn't put it in the actual event, which pissed off a lot of people because it just seemed like you could have just put it in there. Just 4 minutes
added
before.
It, sure. Yeah. I agree with you. The other side I want to mention though is it is a step in the right direction. But yes, they can do more. To be fair,
they definitely don't have any goodwill right now. Basically, is the best way to put it. There's been too many reports being like, no, they knew. They just didn't do anything.
No, for sure. I mean, when there's this many allegations and the actual types of allegations there is always something you can be doing better because you're so in the hole as it is.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes. Let's go on to the actual show itself.
They showed a bunch of Immortals Phoenix Rising stuff to begin with. Man, that is the UI of Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
And Breath of the Wild gameplay. Down to where there's a thing.
It's exactly what we knew it was going to be, right?
It's a thing you jump in and it's literally a challenge shrine, and then you get a thing that increases your stamina at the end, and you're out. Like, it's that game.
They
went that hard on it. Wow.
Yeah. Not, I think the main character's name is Phoenix, the girl here.
Yeah.
Seems so you can customize her. I didn't see any like male characters, so I think it has to be some kind of create your own female Phoenix. I thought Phoenix looked so cool. Every version they showed of her, I thought she just looked badass.
You can give her a beard. Dope.
Great.
Yeah.
Beards are awesome.
And I guess like the whole conceit of what's going on here is that Zeus is fighting with oh my god, who's the other god he's fighting with? You remember? Prometheus.
The whole conceit is
Zeus and Prometheus are having a conversation and fighting, and they're telling a story, and that story is the game you're playing, essentially. And like throwing stuff down randomly. I like that conceit, basically, of like the narrators or whatever's going on in the background is like fucking stuff up. So all of a sudden there's just like a giant now in front of Phoenix for whatever reason. Or yeah, I don't know. I think that's neat. I think this game looks fun. I don't know.
I think it looks super fun.
It looks fun.
Like I'm looking forward to this game this is going to be a really fun, like, it's going to be so late in the year. This will like kind of have to be my like Christmas to New Year's game that I'm playing when I have the time off. I'm looking forward to it. It looks like a blast.
Yeah, looks good. All right, Sean, Prince of Persia getting a remake. Thoughts?
Yeah, this leaked a little ahead of time on like the Russian Uplay account stuff or something in the morning.
Okay.
He looks rough, man.
I'm glad that you said it. So when this video was playing, I'm like, these environments look pretty good. These characters look like they're out of an early PS3 game. These characters look terrible.
Yeah, they look bad. They did all over the footage say it's like pre-alpha footage or alpha footage. I don't remember specifically. So hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then it also kind of makes me think, and I've been thinking kind of a lot about remakes lately with like Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, and then the Mario stuff that it's coming next week. Man, that's fun. Anyway, this is $40. It almost seems like that's too much. Like I look at Tony Hawk 1 and 2, which might be one of like the gold standards in how to like remaster a game at this point.
Maybe.
And that's $40 for 2 games.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just the first Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. It does come with original Prince of Persia,
but so did Sands of Time.
Did it?
Yes, it was an unlockable in the original Sands of Time.
I never unlocked it, so I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it looks better. I'll probably still play it just because I do really like these games. I would like them to bring the other ones back. But yeah, I agree. The characters look rough.
Yeah.
That's as far as it goes.
I just noticed these aren't in order. So, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
So the next thing that they have on here, even though it was one of the more last things, is Riders Republic Extreme Sports.
Last thing, yeah.
This looks kind of fun.
I thought this was a Trials Battle Royale at first.
I thought so too. Yep.
Oh man, you got me disappointed because I thought that's what it was based on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Trials Battle Royale would be pretty cool.
What it actually
is
this
looks
steep.
like steep.
This is
Steep.
it
looks like steep.
Yeah. This is
but the snow melted a bit.
Yeah, no, this is the like not the predecessor, the next thing, I think by the creators of Steep. You are going down mountains on bikes and like wingsuits and snowboards in some spots.
Snowboards, and there's a whole like there's like grinding snowboards, and you can play graffiti in the snowboard part.
Yeah, they just straight up have graffiti in there. So that's neat.
It's just like, hey, let's just make another kind of like extreme sports pack, but now it's autumn.
Yeah, it looks okay.
I personally, it looks okay. So did Steep.
Yeah,
I didn't care
okay.
really for Steep.
Steep went on a big discount within like a month, so I'll wait for this to do the same. And then I'm golden. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game's coming back. Because why wouldn't it?
Hooray!
Yeah, that's good.
It's called the Complete Edition. It's coming out on everything. It was interesting because, so I guess they had been working on bringing it back, but not talking to any of the original creators about it. This new version doesn't have any of the original developers as part of it. It sounds like.
Okay.
Weird.
It is kind of weird, yeah, because I Brian Lee O'Malley, the comic creator, was tweeting 1 month ago. No one has reached out to me or Tribute Games about this in any way. I would love to get this back though. And then all of a sudden it's like almost done basically. So they must have been working on this for a while. And it sounds like they just had recently told O'Malley, oh, hey, by the way, we're doing this.
Huh.
Yeah, supposedly he doesn't get any money based on this game at all.
I would have to assume he would have to get some of the money.
I think he said straight up. I saw some mixed reports. I couldn't find confirmation that apparently he doesn't get any residuals off of the game at all.
So, okay, I'm not a licensed person. To me, that would sound like he sold off the license when he first made.
I'm thinking is probably what happened.
It just doesn't seem like something you would do, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. When you're an artist with bad business sense, I could see a lot of bad things happening to your stuff.
Yeah, I don't get the idea that he was that, because like he marketed this like there's a card game, they got the movie, like he seemed pretty good with. I don't know. Weird.
All it takes is trusting the wrong person, I guess, right? When you're starting out and you lost, that sucks. Either way, that's really shitty.
But yeah, people have been wanting this game back. It's a good game, has that great soundtrack.
Yep. It's exciting.
Apparently it is coming with the online and everything intact, all the DLC, so the 2 new characters.
Knives and Wallace, yeah.
I'm hoping that online play is way better than what they added to the game, because the online
it didn't
suck.
It was bad.
It was awful.
Yep.
So hopefully they fixed that, because that game also had a lot of bugs. So hopefully they fixed all those too in the process.
There's no date set yet, so I'm not too excited yet until I know when I can get it. But for now, holiday 2020.
Down.
Switch, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia.
Fucking Stadia. Yeah.
Speaking of which, yeah, a lot of these games were coming to Stadia. Immortals Phoenix Rising is actually going to be getting some kind of beta or demo early on Stadia. It's exclusive to Stadia.
Wasn't that that whole leak that happened a while back though? Like a playable version of the game was just straight up leaked.
That showed up on Stadia. Yep, but for whatever deal happened, it's going to show up on Stadia first in some playable form. So really excited for Immortals. Maybe look into getting a trial of Stadia at some point.
Sure. Next on this list here, Siege is coming to the next gen consoles, and they are going to be doing the free upgrade for if you have the PS4 version to the PS5 and the Xbox to the one to the Xbox X or S or whatever. So, yep. Oh, and also that thing that I was talking about that was on the test server comes out today. So there's that, but I guess that's
the Splinter Cell stuff.
Yeah. Not really like news stuff. That's just that patch is live today, I guess. So I didn't watch this live. I watched this after. I skipped over this Watch Dogs thing. I didn't give a shit about it. What is it?
There wasn't really anything new. I'm not even really sure how to pronounce this guy's name. Stormzy? That's my guess. A London rapper. He's going to have a mission in the game, and he wrote a song for it. So Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs 1 is going to be in this game in some capacity.
Awesome. Okay.
Everyone's favorite character.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's Watch Dogs that comes out next month. Like, that game still looks good.
Sure. I just don't care about any of this news about it. It's like, yeah, I get it. Open world thing. Looks fun. Don't care. Other
Game
stuff I don't
come
care
out,
about.
let me play.
What's that?
A game come out, let me play.
Yeah, exactly. Other thing I didn't care about is Hyperscape. Apparently it's getting a turbo mode.
Some kind of mode is coming, yeah. I think that was it. I thought there was more, but I guess that was it. Right.
Yep.
What else did I put? Oops. What else did I put here?
No.
Oh yes, No More Heroes 3 got pushed to next year. I didn't even really know that it was supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, it was slated for this year, which was a bummer.
It's because of COVID.
Yeah.
So makes sense.
Yep.
But again, pandemic, so
yeah.
This just kind of adds on to that report that showed up. It was a week or two ago we mentioned it, but Bloomberg is reporting that sources are saying that Nintendo is asking developers to make their games 4K ready.
Neat.
So just kind of adding on to the whole 4K possible Switch seems more and more likely. And the last bit of news is the whole G4 coming back. They got Adam Sessler.
Holy shit. How much money did they dump on his lawn? What the fuck?
I bet he has a soft spot for G4. Like, I doubt he's being like, I need a huge check. I bet a good chunk of him wants to do this.
Maybe.
Anyway, and they're looking for talent, so there's a whole like, get your influencer friends to tweet at us with the hashtag and yeah, whatever. I just wanted to say they got Adam Sessler.
Okay.
Cool. All right, that does it for news. Let's do some questions. Send in a question. It's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. Evan writes, what are some games that you've gotten worse at due to being out of practice, and you are now amazed at how good you used to be?
Oof. Mega Man games.
All the Guitar Hero and Rock Band games.
Yeah, Guitar Hero games.
Tony Hawk.
I'm actually better than I've ever been at Tony Hawk.
I am awful at Tony Hawk now.
Select fighting games that I played a lot growing up, specifically Mortal Kombat 2. I just can't do fighting games anymore, I don't think. I just don't have
like the caveat with my answer is I'm not really amazed at how good I used to be, because it was like, well, back then I didn't have a job. So of course I was good at these games. It's all I did all day.
Or I didn't play against random people on the internet from around the world, just like the 3 dipshits I hung out with. Like, yeah, sure. It's a little different.
Yeah.
My answer is all.
Yeah, all. I feel that too. All. Oh, I feel it so bad. Cody says, what is your favorite single player mode in a multiplayer focus game, and your favorite multiplayer mode in a single player focus game?
Multiplayer in a single player focus game, definitely Horde mode and Gears.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one. I'll also put out whatever that multiplayer mode was in Singularity. That was, for some reason was pretty into that. The Mass Effect 3 multiplayer was also pretty good.
It was pretty good, yeah. Also, the Uncharted games had unnecessarily good multiplayer.
You remember Alan Wake had a Horde mode?
No, I don't.
I don't know. That was American Nightmare that
had that. I don't remember. I remember being an original Alan Wake, but maybe it was American Nightmare.
I think you might be right.
I think it was the first Alan Wake, though, because I think the environments were from the first one. Anyway. Favorite single player in a multiplayer game, though.
Yeah.
The Call of Duty games, I've always liked the single player more, even though it's obvious that they care more about multiplayer.
Yeah, that would definitely be the answer for the industry.
I'm just trying to even think of what some games are that are like primarily multiplayer, but that they put in a single player mode.
Yeah, it's a harder.
Most fighting games, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, some of those Mortal Kombat story modes are fucking awesome. Like, way more than they
Yeah, that's a good one. The Mortal Kombat story mode. Because I was going to say, like, the gameplay, isn't it just kind of identical, but they actually put, like, cutscenes and, like, some productions. Yeah, the Mortal Kombat ones are super good. Yeah, that's a good one. The tutorial mission from Destiny 2, because that is only single player.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get to slow walk while Ghost talks at you randomly. Oh, I hate slow walking in games where you can run.
Me too. All right, before I read in the next question, we actually got a letter one.
Oh,
holy
shit.
smokes! It's been like 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
This one,
Wow.
This one's from Boogie McTalk, who says, I have a TDP question. Have you ever written a letter to a magazine and has it been published?
Yes and no.
What did you do? You have to tell us what it was, unless it's like incriminating.
I can't remember if it was like Game Pro or something, but it was like a create your own Mega Man contest, and I created a Mega Man Robot Master.
What was it? You have to tell us.
I don't remember.
Oh,
Nostalgia man.
Yeah.
I've never written in. I always liked reading the letter sections, which
Yeah.
to me now, I probably would not read the letter sections if I opened a magazine. But for some, like I think of Nintendo Power, and I read all the letter sections. I don't know why.
Yeah, I remember reading all those too. And if I ever wrote into any, it would have been Nintendo Power, but I don't think I actually ever did.
I used to Shonen Jump magazine had like those like cards where you're supposed to like mail on the card to subscribe.
Yeah.
So Shonen Jump had those every month, and they also had like a little survey on them to be like, oh, which of the Shonen Jump manga do you like the most? Which one do you like the least? Can you rank them? Blah, blah, blah. For the longest time, I would just fill those out and then put them in the garbage.
Okay.
I don't know why I did that. That's how much free time you have when you're 10.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll take this next one then. Dedinsky is the most ergonomically friendly video game controller, as well as mouse keyboard setup you've used. What techniques do you use to make sure you don't feel uncomfortable during long gaming sessions?
I hate to say this, but it's probably the GameCube controller.
Yeah, I liked the GameCube controller. It felt good.
It's pretty well shaped for hands.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think I'm Xbox One, Xbox 360. They're pretty similar.
That would be my number 2. Honestly,
that's a really nice controller. Yeah.
Ergonomically
and other
friendly.
Techniques. Anything special for mouse and keyboard, like one of those like split keyboards?
No.
No, I've used those for editing. Those are nice, but yeah, no, not for my regular setup.
Did try and use that arm thing to put my Switch above my head when I'm laying in bed.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
And honestly, I just can't be bothered to set it up every time, and I'm not going to leave it hooked up at all times because I'm just going to bang my head on it, or my girlfriend is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the big thing for me is I need a chair with a good tall back with support in the lower back, because I play at my desk a lot on the computer. So that's like the big thing. Also water. You need water. Gotta stay hydrated while those long gaming sessions.
There's nothing to do with ergonomics.
It says so you don't feel uncomfortable.
Water.
What techniques do you use to make sure you don't feel uncomfortable?
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, I shift around a lot on my chair. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but
I do too.
Yeah, just
it's kind of a weird one, and this is kind of the opposite way. I've started doing this since actually I've been doing this for most of the quarantine. I'm trying to stand up, playing games in the living room now.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense. I know a bunch of people who do that. Yeah,
I have no more commute, and I work at a desk all day.
Yeah.
So it's like I went from having like 2 hours of like walking and standing in a train to nothing. So now whenever I'm done work, I try to play games standing up for a couple hours before I'm like, okay, I need to sit down. Otherwise, my legs are going to turn into dust.
Yep. That's how that works for sure. All right. Boko says, has a game with new quality of life features ever retroactively ruined other games for you? For me, I think Final Fantasy XIV has ruined other MMOs for me, thanks to you only needing one character to level every class in the game, being able to switch between them very easily versus other MMOs where you usually need to make a new character for each class and go through the tedious beginning content again.
So literally yesterday, we raced Smash 64.
Okay.
And oh my god, I forgot. I'm so spoiled by Smash Ultimate because it moves so much more smooth. So that's
first one's real floaty. Yeah.
Sure.
It's a chunky boy.
Let me tell you about how over the years Tony Hawk's Pro Skater added manuals, a bar to show you balancing on grinds, reverts, the ability to change different positions on your skateboard while grinding and manualing, just overall
off
basic.
Your skateboard, being able to ride a bike.
That game is like literally quality of life, making it hard to go back to an older one.
I forgot the first game didn't have a balance meter. I completely forgot that.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird. Also, they got rid of Big Drop for the remake, and I'm so happy. I hate Big Drop. It's the worst fucking mechanic ever. Yeah. Tony Hawk is this answer. Every time.
Do you guys like that they made the characters old?
Some of them look like monsters. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They look
created
weird.
a character, so I didn't care, honestly.
Yeah.
I really like it, actually. I feel like it's like a level of like not exactly respect, but also just kind of like hearkening back to like, hey, you guys grew up with this too. Like I really like it.
Yeah. And I mean they have the new skaters on the scene there too. Like they have their young characters if you want that, I guess. I remember, Sean, I think you were saying the reason why you found it hard to go back to Burnout Paradise was because it didn't have a lot of the quality of life stuff that most like arcade racing games have, right? That remaster. Like that's probably an answer for you somewhere in there.
I wasn't thinking about that, but that's a good one for sure. The one that I had in mind was a pinging system like that Apex introduced.
Pinging's good. Yeah.
Like anytime I'm playing anything multiplayer, even if it's like a story-based thing, but there's like co-op in there, like let me ping stuff. Holy smokes, that's a game changer.
It's so important. That's true. Yeah. Well, I've been told Ghost of Tsushima does a lot of really good quality of life stuff for open world games, which is why I'm a little worried that when I play that finally, I'm not going to want to go back to Horizon Zero Dawn for the replay. So it's kind of why I've been a little bit putting it off too. But people that have played that swear by that game's use of quality of life improvements in that genre. I don't know. We'll see.
Becky Star writes in and says, what was your first MMORPG game that you played? This is MMO/RPG. My first MMO would have been Ragnarok Online. My first RPG would have been Final Fantasy 3/6.
I just need to find MMO time. My first MMO technically was Final Fantasy 11.
Why technically?
First RPG.
Because I didn't play more than like a week of it. So I wouldn't say I got the MMO experience from it.
I guess like the Pokemon games are RPGs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess Pokemon Blue would be my first RPG. MMO though, I have no idea. I didn't really play a traditional MMO for a long time.
Oh.
I don't have a great answer for that. Division 1. There's no way I must have played something before that, but I can't think of one.
First normal RPG? The first one that made an actual impact on me was Diablo. For sure.
Okay. Rasterman7 writes, did you used to play jump rope games when you were at school? If so, what was your record number of jumps? And has that number changed over the year?
Fuck would I remember that?
I was not coordinated enough for that back then. Could not.
I feel like if you were really good, you would have remembered your number.
I guess. I mean, sure. I played jump rope games when I was a kid. I don't remember my record number of jumps. And it has changed over the years because I put on like 500 pounds as opposed to the 10 pounds I weighed as a kid.
Do you ever try out the Switch jump rope thing that they put out near the beginning of quarantine?
No.
Okay. I jump rope as a kid. I want to say I didn't do it very often.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And I never really did those like those games where like two people are doing it on the outsides and then you're singing some song in the middle. I don't think I ever really did that.
I mean, that was mostly a girl thing so we likely wouldn't have done that back then. But like, I remember my cousin had this thing I was absolutely infatuated with, a skip it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys remember these?
Yeah.
So for those,
Maybe,
I think they
in a word picture for those who may
I was
not
about to do that. Yeah. For those who, I think they still make them, but for those who don't know what it is, it's literally like a piece of plastic that has like a little wheel on it. You attach it to your ankle, and you spin it around in circles, and you skip around it as it's going around, and it counts how many times you've skipped into it before you slam into it and like stop.
So it's like a stick with like a with like a thicker part of the end that has the wheel.
like a thick. Yeah, it's got like a wheel. Yeah,
it's like if you've ever seen a cartoon indication of somebody being jailed and they have a ball and chain on their ankle. It looks kind of like
it's a ball and chain that you specifically have to
Wait,
skip
is that not in real life?
I don't know.
They used to in like the 20s.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if my number would be worse or better. It'd probably be worse.
I think mine would be better because I was really bad as a kid.
Just know I had more energy as a kid. No, I didn't get like, I'm not like unfit compared to kid. I just know I would have had more energy, and I was doing a lot more running as a kid too.
Sure.
This probably would have been better back then.
I was definitely cycling more as a kid. I
think it's
Paul. Would you like to respond from Linebeck?
Yep. Linebeck says, an actual ad I just got on YouTube. A woman is walking down a street. A couple is trying to take a picture. Woman walks between them. When the couple gets annoyed at her, she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've just been promoted to concubine." What are some of the weirdest ads you've seen? For context, the ad was for some otome mobile game. PlayStation
I was
had
just like,
weirdest.
What?
PlayStation had the weirdest ads for a long time.
We got Fred in the chat saying that the Jump Rope Challenge game is leaving the eShop at the end of the month, so you guys might want to jump on that.
Crap. I'm going to go download that now, despite your terrible pun.
I don't remember what it was, but there's been some pretty crazy ones that are just so out of left field, and at the end of it, it's like a Subway ad.
Yeah, no, those are the more recent examples. I've just been like super left field.
Yeah. There's been like 2 of those. I can't remember if they're both Subway or not, but that was one.
All I can remember is PlayStation's like, it's like dirt. You can play outside.
Yeah.
Or like,
what?
Like weird, like, you know, like they had like the weird like dust bunnies, and they would talk like,
hey, the PSP ones.
Yeah, the PSP ones. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When I think of the PlayStation ones, I also think of the ones where it was like that white room and stuff would break in, and there was a baby one. Baby. Yeah, the baby one was super
with the
weird.
head turning. Yeah, that shit's creepy.
I mean, like weird ads. Like I subscribe to numerous YouTube channels that compile Japanese commercials into like 10-minute videos.
Yeah,
and Japanese commercials, hands down, are better than anything America's putting out.
They are.
Or Western civilization. They are just fantastic. They're just so much better. There's this one about this like on candy that's like really long, and they have storylines. Oh, they're so good, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think John is next.
Okay. From VGC Kenny, when playing Smash, one of the characters I feel decent at is Shulk. However, my friend says I can't be good at Shulk because I steadfastly refuse to use his stance change mechanic. I just think that any advantage any particular form has isn't worth the drawbacks it comes with, and Vanilla Shulk is the best form of Shulk. Is he right, though? Can I not be considered good because I don't use what is basically the core mechanic of Shulk? That's a tough one.
I think you should just tell your friend to fuck off.
Yeah.
Can you beat your friend at Smash? Then yes, you're good.
Yeah. So the thing about being good at something isn't necessarily knowing every aspect of it. It's knowing how to use like that stuff to their best advantage, right? So if like, I don't know anything about this, but if what they're saying is true and there's no like real advantage for me doing this, why would you ever do it? Like, that's fine.
As the one who clearly plays the most Smash out of the 3 here, you are missing a vital tool out of Shulk's moveset. And if you were to do a mirror match against someone who uses all those and uses them well, you will more likely than not lose.
But if they win, yeah.
Yeah, but if your fundamentals are good enough in default Shulk that you don't need to worry about any of the other ones and don't need to depend on those, that doesn't necessarily mean you are a bad Shulk. That just means you can be an even better one if you work those in, or if you don't feel the need to, then yeah. But like it is definitely like the ability to literally like kill people faster and recover better is in that tool set. And if you're not using that, I'm a bit concerned, if that makes sense. I'm surprised that you feel like it's not needed, like when they're all like definite benefits. But I can see there's also all drawbacks to them all, so I can understand why you're like, no, like default is just safer.
I guess you could break it down further and how they're like what the exact wording is. Are you good at playing Shulk, or are you good with playing Shulk?
Wait, what?
Because I feel like because it's like, if you're good at playing Shulk, I feel like you are good at using all of Shulk.
Sure.
You're good with Shulk.
I get the logic there, yeah.
It's like you can use Shulk and you're just good with him. Again, though, I do feel like if you're playing at a high level and you're not using some of the stuff, that's fine. Who cares? Like, you wouldn't be asking us this question, but it's like, oh, I don't use his like B left ever. I use everything else, but I don't use B left. We wouldn't say you're bad for ignoring one thing if you don't.
Yeah, there's a bunch of characters where you don't want to use like a move most of the time.
Yeah, so like I feel like this is just a different version of that. I feel like if someone could show you like, I think the thing here is maybe the skill ceiling is higher if you're using everything.
Yeah,
ideally, but like,
I guess this is the core question here. Good in relation to what and who?
Sure. Yeah.
If you're just if you're like just like all you do is just play party mode with like friends and have items on, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
If you are literally trying to be a top tier like Evo playing Smash Brothers player, you're probably not good if you're not using those abilities. But again, you need something to test against to know this. So that's the trade-off there. So this is kind of a question you can't really answer.
That scenario, though, even if they are playing at that Evo level and ignoring the different forms or whatever, yeah, you're still good. Like, I don't think you need to use everything in a character. Like, if you're playing them well, good. That's great.
Yeah, but I get this. So like, you can't compare this to like, hey, I play as Mario, but I don't use fireballs. Like, it's not like that kind of comparison. It's more like, hey, I use Link, but I don't use any projectiles. Like, it's just like it's enough of your move set being removed that it feels out of place. It's not one thing, it's multiple things out of the toolkit. That just means your fundamentals without that toolkit are great, but there is room for improvement by working the other parts in.
I think it's just you use this character in a different way, and it's like if you were like a sword fighter, and you, instead of using the ancient art of this sensei's, you're using street sword techniques. I think that's kind of what it is. Like,
I think the argument actually, if we're using the sword fighting technique, it's more like, yeah, I sword fight, but I don't take my sword out of the sheath, but I still win.
There you go. And that's totally fine. If you still win with the sword in the sheath, that's cool. And then you just know when you get to like the final boss and the lyrics kick in when the song's playing, and you do take the sword out of the sheath, it is on.
You take the weighted.
You got to tell your friend, oh, if I used all of his different stances, I would be too good. You'd stop being friends with me. I'd kick your ass so much. I think that's what you got to say.
I think the answer at the end of the day is, if you're winning matches, you're doing good. Yeah. If you're not winning matches, then you can argue you're not doing good.
So
hey, if you're having fun,
I think that's
you're doing good.
I mean, I do agree with that, actually. Even though it's kind of like a silly way to put it, I still agree with it for sure. This question here.
Also,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Also, someone brings up a good point. Temar says, "Don't let your friend tell you how to play." Yeah, like,
yeah, fuck your friend. Your friend's an asshole.
Yeah, who like, if you're not trying to compete seriously, then who the fuck cares?
Totally. So what he's saying, I think any advantage of particular form isn't worth the drawbacks it comes with. Maybe that's because like your friends suck, and that's why they're mad that you just keep playing that way. They want you to open it up. Whereas like, if you know that like you can beat them without changing or doing like and changing form or whatever the fuck, like maybe they should get better. so that you have to actually change up your style. Like maybe they should get good. Honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing I find interesting because like Shulk's toolkit is really good. Like shield basically makes it so you aren't falling off the map. Jump is amazing for recovery, and like there's specific modes that will kill enemies at at lower percentage, which is what you want. But like you can get knocked around more. So like there are positives and negatives. But a couple people in chat are saying like in Ultimate, he actually has more goods perform than bad perform. So it's interesting.
Goku fights with weighted clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're fighting with weighted clothes on.
Yeah, there you go. See, you're too good.
You could use jump, and you could be flying.
So did Rock Lee.
Yeah, that guy was real cool too.
He had the big eyes.
Eyebrows.
Yeah, the eyebrows.
Both.
Just a fucked up face, honestly, in general.
Whose turn is it? Is it mine or John's?
It's yours.
That was mine.
Rinku says, what's a game that had a lot of hype around it, but you waited to play until after the hype died down? For example, I recently just started playing Undertale.
Oh, I had an example of this. What the hell was it? I got Tropical Freeze technically, but I wouldn't say that was super hyped. Shoot, what was it?
Can't think of a game where I did it like on purpose, where I like avoided it because of the hype.
I definitely do that. But I changed the way. So I used to do this where I would wait for the hype to die down. I just stopped paying attention to video game podcasts, to Twitter. I just stopped paying attention to everything. So now there's no hype for anything until after I'm done playing something. And then I seek it out to see what people say. So Undertale was a big one for me. I didn't want to play that when it was in its fervor. That was insane. So I waited a few months and then played it after.
I feel like I'm skipping Danganronpa because of the hype, which never seems to die down for it.
It definitely has its community for sure. It's a big one.
Yeah. I can't think of an indie right now that I just came to late and was like, oh shit, everyone was right.
And I don't skip for the hype stuff. Like I try to play it right away, and if I don't, it's because I was probably playing something else and I'm wanting to get to it.
Sure. Yep. All right, Hebrew Lantern, what is the most supernatural experience you've ever had? I would need time to think about this. I'm not a person that believes in many things. In ghosts, gods, any of that sort of thing, demons.
Well, I mean, by definition, there has to be something that would be the most supernatural. So I'm going kind of with that. I found a $20 bill on the ground once.
Yeah, that's pretty supernatural. Probably left by a ghost. Very true.
I'm just saying that was the craziest thing.
I can't think of an answer. I honestly can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then would you like to read this one by Hayes AC?
Sure. Hayes writes in and says, which non-fighting game would you like to have a competitive community or tournament for? I would like a competitive Mario Party circuit to exist. Yeah, competitive Mario Party would be interesting. So by that same logic, Fall Guys.
My answer is Fall Guys. I want to be able to invite people I know into a game. I don't want to play with randos. Like, I want to get everybody
That's coming in season 2.
I want everybody that listens to TDP, one day we just set aside a day and then we all jump in there. Like, that's the thing I want from that game.
Nice. Yeah, Fall Guys would be good. I don't know. I have to pick like an obscure shooter or something.
Hmm.
Don't have a good answer. Do you have anything? Oh, you said Fall Guys as well.
Yeah, Fall Guys and Mario Party.
Great, that's going to do it for questions. If you want to send in a question next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box, which is rare to go, as you can see. What's your game of the week?
Yep.
I mean, Tony Hawk, right?
It's also Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
Oh, the three-peat. Look at that. Rare three-peat hat trick. All right. If you're a Blue Eyes patron, I'm putting up the submission poll tomorrow. So start thinking and submit a game for poll coming next week. Otherwise, we will see you guys later.
Bye, everybody.